Insoles for running, and what do we look for in an orthotic insole when we're fitting it into a running shoe? Hey guys, it's Kent here and I'm the podiatrist from DocPods and Ergonx, and we've been asked the question today, what specifically do we look for in an insole or an orthotic insole, or more specifically an off-the-shelf orthotic insole when we're fitting it into a running shoe? So the principles we look for are support and cushioning, because we know that when we support your feet, they don't work as hard, so they'll be more rested, so you'll be able to do the same mileage and not get injured, or increase your mileage with less work on your feet, so you're less likely to get overuse injuries like plantar fasciitis, heel pain, heel spurs, medial knee pain, Morton's neuromas, and just general corns and calluses, because there'll be less load going on your feet. The other thing we look for is cushioning. So if we cushion our feet, it just means that the ground reaction forces that go when your heel or foot strikes the ground, they're not transmitted through into the foot as much, so they're dampened a little bit by the orthotic insole and the midsole of the shoe, so they're not passed on to your foot. So all that means is that the forces don't act as quickly on your foot, so your feet won't roll in as quickly, so there'll be less force applied to the foot because the force is less when we move the foot more slowly. So generally the features we look for in an orthotic insole are as follows. We look for this long, high medial arch support. So what that helps to do is raise the arch up or stop the arch from bottoming out completely. And what that does is, so if our arch bottoms out, it strains the ligaments, joints and muscles down the inside of the foot, and it can on the outside as well. And all it does, it just rests, so we're not doing this little repetition of arch collapsing, rebounding, arch collapsing, rebounding every time that your foot strikes the ground. So if we can limit that, or even just mean that we don't drop as far in the arch, it means there'll be less work on your feet, and the muscles of the legs and feet won't work as hard to maintain the foot position. So the other thing we look for is this really nice deep heel cup. So if you have a look in here, you can see this deep heel cup. Now that does a couple of things. It helps to grip your heel and hold it a little bit more stable in the shoe. It also helps to keep the foot's natural fatty pad beneath the heel. So the natural fatty pad in the foot is the foot's way of cushioning your heel at heel strike. So if we can keep that underneath the heel, it just means that there's a little bit more cushioning in the orthotic insole. We look for something that's actually flexible and will work with the mechanics of your foot. So this is a really nice full-length polyurethane foam. So we often prefer a full-length polyurethane or full-length orthotic insole, just because we can remove the current liner from your shoe and put this one in, and it means that it'll stay really firmly in place because it'll actually fit the replacement liner in your shoe. The other things we look for are enhanced cushioning positions in the heel and forefoot, like this one here. This one's got the poron cushioning positions. Poron's a really nice cushioning material because it's hard wearing and it's got great shock absorbing capacity. The reason we don't make the whole insole out of poron is because it's actually quite heavy, so we can only use it quite sparingly in the heel and forefoot, the really hard wearing areas. So what the orthotic insole will actually help to do is we try and limit how much your foot rolls in, but we don't actually want to roll your foot out too far either. So we don't want to invert your foot or supinate your foot, because that'll cause a different set of problems to rolling in. So if you think of the orthotic insole like train tracks, so we want to basically stop your foot from rolling in too far and limit your foot from rolling out too far, and we want to cushion and support your feet during your runs. It'll help to prevent overuse injuries like heel pain, heel spurs, plantar fasciitis, stress fractures, stress reactions, medial knee pain, Morton's neuromas, and just all the general things that the runners get when they start to train a little bit too much sometimes. So that's specifically what we look for. The one that we use as our example is, of course, our Ergonx Ultrasoft Orthotic Insole. This one's great for running, for higher mileage runners or runners that just need a little bit more support and cushioning. It works really well in with the current model of Brooks, Asics, Mizuno, Nike, Hoka shoes. It adds comfort and support to your shoes. It'll mean you'll be able to train a little bit longer and a little bit harder. It's lightweight and it's long lasting because it's it's a closed cell foam, so it will last a little bit longer than your open cell foams. So I hope this has helped to answer your questions. If you have any questions,